While modern gardeners throw away small fortunes every year on the latest chemicals and overhyped bottles of poison, old-fashioned farmers are solving the exact same problems in a completely different way. And to be honest, their results would make modern science blush. Have you ever wondered why our great-grandparents never faced the kind of pest catastrophes we see today, even though they had never heard of powerful synthetic insecticides? The answer might shock you. While chemistry offers only a fleeting illusion of victory by destroying every living thing in its path, old methods work on the principle of invisible protection. It is a quiet but ruthless strategy that has been proven for centuries. Today, we are going to reveal methods that were passed down through generations by word of mouth. These are simple, nearly free, and completely natural ways to turn your garden into an impregnable fortress. We are not going to talk about complex lab formulas. We are going to talk about the power of nature that we somehow forgot. Some of these secrets are so elementary that people refuse to believe in them until they see their own harvest literally bursting with health while the neighbor's crops are being devoured by aphids. Today, you will learn why your garden is still losing the war against insects and how one old rule can change the game forever. Watch until the end because the final method will completely flip your perspective on gardening. The pest problem in modern gardens is snowballing. And the reason is not that insects have become more aggressive, but rather the way we fight them. Chemistry is slowly ceasing to be the ideal solution. Firstly, it causes irreparable harm to the soil by killing the microorganisms that make it alive. Secondly, insects possess a staggering ability to adapt. They develop resistance to poisons, meaning every year you need increasingly powerful and expensive products. Right now, there is a massive global trend toward organic farming. People want to eat clean fruits and vegetables without fearing for their health. Old methods are not just nostalgia, they are the only way to create a truly sustainable garden. You can achieve excellent results without aggressive chemicals. My goal today is to show you how to turn your plot into a balanced ecosystem where every plant and every insect knows its place. Why pests always return aphids, caterpillars, slugs, and beetles. It seems like an endless list of enemies that we have to battle every single day. But the main mistake most gardeners make is that they only start the fight after the problem appears. By the time you see chewed leaves, the battle is already half lost. Why doesn't chemistry solve the problem completely? Imagine you use a strong insecticide. It kills the pest, but it also wipes out the beneficial insects that feed on them. You're breaking the balance of the ecosystem. Pests recover their population much faster than their natural enemies. In the end, you're left alone against the pests in a sterile, dead garden. It's vital to realize one key insight. The problem is not the specific bugs or the aphids. The problem is the system of your garden itself. If pests keep coming back over and over, it means you have created the perfect conditions for them and removed all natural barriers. We need to stop fighting the consequences and start working on the causes. The core philosophy. What is the main idea behind these old methods? It can be described in one phrase. Do not destroy everything, but rather manage nature. Our ancestors did not try to turn a garden into an operating room. They understood that a garden is a living organism. There are three basic pillars that the old school stands on. First is prevention. We create conditions where pests simply find it uncomfortable to live. The second is ecosystem balance. We invite helpers into the garden. The third is natural barriers. We use the laws of biology to protect the plants. These methods have survived through the centuries because they do not cause addiction in insects. The laws of nature do not change. A physical barrier or the scent of a companion plant will work just as effectively 100 years from now as it does today. Let's move from theory to practice and examine the actual methods that experienced farmers still use worldwide. Methods 1 and 2. The foundation. The foundation of any healthy system starts with planning. The first method is crop rotation. Put simply, this is changing the location of your crops every single season. Pests often overwinter in the soil beneath the plants they fed on during the summer. If you plant potatoes or tomatoes in the same spot every year, you are literally building a cozy home with a free buffet for the pests. By rotating crops, you force the pests to lose their home. They simply cannot find their habitual food in the spring. They die off. Additionally, crop rotation helps the soil recover since different plants pull different elements from the earth. The effect is amazing. A sharp decrease in disease and soil contamination. This is the ultimate natural camouflage for your garden. The essence is that certain plants protect each other when planted together. A classic example is onions and carrots. The onion fly cannot stand the smell of carrots, while the carrot fly is terrified of the smell of onions. Together, they become invisible to their enemies. Plant marigolds or calendula in your garden. These flowers release substances that confuse pests with their sharp scents. You are creating a complex aromatic maze where the pest simply cannot find its target. Methods 3 to 5. Living protection. The third method is the preservation of natural predators. Ladybugs, spiders, toads, and birds are your best free employees. A single ladybug can eat thousands of aphids in its lifetime. The biggest mistake modern people make is the total destruction of every living thing on the property. When you see a spider, do not rush to kill it. When you build a birdhouse, you are hiring a whole crew to fight caterpillars. The task is to create an ecosystem where predators feel comfortable. Fourth method concerns the nutrition of the plants themselves. We are talking about organic fertilizers. Compost, manure, and decomposed organic matter are what make plants truly strong. There is a massive difference between chemistry and organics. Chemistry provides fast, unnatural growth that makes plant tissues soft and sweet for insects. Organics, however, build resilience and strong immunity. A healthy, robust plant is capable of producing its own protective substances that repel pests. Method 5. Manual control. The fifth method is perhaps the oldest and most reliable. Manual control. Yes, picking pests by hand or timely removal of a single infected leaf can prevent an epidemic across the whole plot. For small gardens, this is the perfect way. It gives an instant effect and allows you to better understand what is happening in your garden. This is a direct contact with nature that cannot be replaced by any sprayer. Creating the system. The main takeaway you should have from this video is that one single method gives a weak effect, but a system gives a powerful result. You cannot just plant some marigolds and wait for a miracle if you have been planting your vegetables in the exact same spot for years. Let's create a simple action plan. In the spring, you deal with prevention, plan your crop rotation, and set out your companion plants. In the summer, you move to control, monitor the population of beneficial predators, and perform manual inspections. In the autumn, you focus on soil recovery by adding organics and preparing the ground for the next cycle. Consistency of action is much more important than finding one perfect miracle method. A garden works as a single living organism. If you support its health systematically, it starts to handle most problems on its own. Old farmers knew this intuitively, and we should learn this wisdom from them. Mistakes that ruin everything. Even when using natural methods, you can make mistakes that spoil everything. The most common mistake is reacting too late. You cannot just wait for the aphids to eat all your greens while hoping for the ladybugs to arrive. You need to start acting in advance. The second mistake is using only one method. As we have discussed, only the complex approach works. The third mistake is the accidental destruction of beneficial insects. Before you squash an unfamiliar bug, make sure it is not a lacewing larva that has come to your aid. The fourth mistake is an overabundance of even organic fertilizers. Too much nitrogen in the soil will attract pests just as quickly as chemicals will. Remember the vital rule: natural does not mean there are no rules. Nature requires precision and respect. To sum up, I want to say that old methods work precisely because they are based on a deep understanding of the laws of nature. They do not fight life, they support it. I urge you not to put this off for later. Try to implement at least 1 or 2 methods today. Start with companion plants or start a compost pile. You will be surprised how quickly nature responds to your care. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments which old-fashioned method you use in your garden. Perhaps you have your own family secrets? In the next video, I will share even more natural gardening secrets that chemical manufacturers stay silent about. I will see you in the next one.